Hi everyone, it's Agnieszka Murdoch. Welcome to 5-Minute Language. Today we're going to talk about future tenses in English. But first, leave me a comment to let me know which English future tense is the most difficult to learn. I'm curious to find out what you think. Okay, so let's get started. We're going to talk about all the future tenses in English and also some phrases and expressions that you can use to talk about the future. So we're going to talk about the phrase going to, about using the present continuous tense to talk about the future, using the present simple to talk about the future. We're also going to talk about the future simple, the future continuous, the future perfect and the future perfect continuous. We're also going to cover the verbs may and might to talk about the future. Are you ready? Let's talk about my garden. I'm going to give you a story to illustrate how to use those different future tenses in English. So this weekend, I'm going to do some gardening. It's my plan. And I'm using the phrase going to talk about it. So when you're talking about plans that you have for the future, you need to use the phrase going to. So I'm going to do some gardening. I'm going to plant some flowers. And I'm going to do some weeding as well. You can also use the present continuous tense to talk about the future. So for example, I'm playing football this weekend. I'm playing football is a plan that is most definitely going to happen. So you can use the present continuous to talk about something that you're certain is going to happen. Usually it's because you've arranged with another person to do it. So for example, I have already agreed with my friends that we will play football. And that's why I'm saying I'm playing football. It's a plan and it's an arrangement with other people. So I'm in my garden right now and I have just seen my neighbor. My neighbor is trying to open her gate, but she is struggling. She can't open it. So I will help her. I will help her is the future simple. So I have just decided to help her. It's not a plan, it's a spontaneous decision. And when you talk about spontaneous decisions in English, you need to use the future simple, so will. I will help her. Will is also something you can use to talk about predictions. So when you're not sure something's going to happen, but you're just guessing. So I'm going to plant some roses in my garden and I think they will do really well. I am guessing and I am making a prediction. So I think the roses will do really well. I think they will grow very big. So this is the future simple tense. Now, this afternoon, between the hours of 1 p.m. and 2 p.m., I will be working in my garden. I will not be having my lunch. I will be busy. I will be working in my garden. So I will be working is the future continuous tense. It's used to talk about actions which are continuous and they're happening over a period of time. So between the hours of 1 p.m. and 2 p.m. I will be working in my garden. By the time it's 6 p.m. this afternoon, I will have finished planting my flowers. I will have finished. So this is the future perfect tense and I'm using it to talk about something that will be completed at a particular point in the future. So by the time it's 6 p.m. I will have finished. The action of planting my flowers will be completed, and that's what the future perfect is for. Now, by the time it's 7 p.m., I will have been working in my garden for hours. It's the future perfect continuous tense in English. I will have been working for hours. So I'm talking about a particular point in the future, 7, and an action which started before that and is still happening at that point in the future. So I will have been working for hours. Working in the garden is really tiring, and my garden is really big, so I can't do it all by myself. But fortunately, I do have a friend who knows a lot about gardening. He doesn't live in London where I live. He lives in a different town, but he is going to help me with my garden. He is going to. That is the plan. He is actually coming to London tomorrow to help me. He's coming to London. That's the present continuous to talk about the future. And I'm using the present continuous because it's a plan we have made together. It's an arrangement with my friend. So he's coming to London. His train arrives at 10 tomorrow morning. Now I'm using the present simple to talk about the future. Yes, you can do that. And we do that when we talk about planes or trains arriving at a particular time. We use it to talk about timetables and schedules. So his train arrives at 10 tomorrow. It's in the future, and I'm talking about the timetable. When the garden is finished, I might have a drink. It's quite a hot day and working in the garden is really tiring, so I might have a cold drink afterwards. But I'm not sure. That's why I'm using the phrase might. So I might have a drink. It's just a possibility. It's an option. It's not a plan. It's just something that I possibly can do. I might have a drink, but I might have ice cream instead. I'm not sure yet. So what's the difference between I'm going to help my neighbor open her gate and I will help my neighbor open her gate? I'm going to is something I say when I talk about plans. So if I've been planning it, if I've been thinking about it, that's when I need to say I'm going to help her. I will help her is a spontaneous decision. It's a decision I have just made. I have literally just seen my neighbor. She is struggling with the gate. She can't open it, and I will help her. I have just decided. So going to is for plans and will is for spontaneous decisions. What's the difference between my friend arrives at 10 tomorrow and my friend is going to arrive at 10 at my house? So the first one, I'm talking about his train really. I'm talking about the timetable. The train is following a schedule, a timetable. It arrives at 10. And that's why my friend arrives at 10 is in the present simple. My friend is going to arrive at 10 at my house is just a plan that my friend has made. This is what he's planning to do. He's going to arrive at 10. So in this case, the present simple is for timetables and schedules, and going to is for talking about plans. What's the difference between I will be working in my garden and I will have been working in my garden? So I will be working is the future continuous tense. It's something that will be happening between the hours of 6 p.m. and 7 p.m. That's the only period of time I'm talking about. I will have been working means that the action started at some point, and at a particular moment in the future it's still happening, and I'm talking about the whole period of time between when it started and that moment in the past. So for example, by the time it's 7, I will have been working for 5 hours because maybe I started at 2. So that is the difference between the future continuous and the future perfect continuous. So just to recap, we've got going to talk about plans in the future. We've got the present continuous to talk about the future, which is when we talk about arrangements that we've made with other people. We've got the present simple, which we can use to talk about scheduled things such as timetables, train times, plane times. So for example, my train arrives at 10 tomorrow. We've got the future continuous, which is to talk about a continuous action which will be happening between the hours of 6 p.m. and 7 p.m. for example. I will be working in the garden during that time. We've got the future simple, which is to talk about spontaneous decisions or guesses, such as I will help my neighbor or my roses will grow very tall. We've got the future perfect to talk about things that will be completed by a specific point in the future. So I will have finished by the time it's 6. And the future perfect continuous, which is about things that will still be ongoing by a particular point in the future, such as I will have been working for hours by the time it's 7. And we also have things like might and may to talk about things that are possibilities that we're not sure we're going to do yet. So I may have a drink or I might have ice cream. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure you leave me a comment and tell me, what do you think is the most difficult English future tense to learn? Let me know in the comments and I will see you in the next video. Bye!